out.
What up? Where'd Jennifer go?
She had to slide out of the picture just at the right time.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey guys,
How you doing? What's going on, friends?
we had to make this
What?
7.
We had to make it 7:10. There was a technical difficulty.
Facebook kind of messed with us, so we had to sign it on out in advance.
Danny, he's our man. Hey, Philip. Hey,
Yeah.
Eric.
Anyway, so
MJ. Deets.
but I know that we did the last one at 4 p.m. That was because Patrick had to play somewhere music, and that's the only reason that we did that. So we're back on at 7 because it's good for us because we can actually go out there and work, and then I have to leave about 3
Cotton
to
top.
make it back and clean up and everything to get over here to Jennifer's house. So that seems to be the best for us. But anyway,
Scott. Terry.
Yes,
Stop.
we have them.
huh?
Terry said what?
Did you know FedEx is buying UPS and renaming it? Is that supposed to be? He's gonna get me.
Don't forget, we're getting closer to 40,000. We have that nice chainsaw, steel chainsaw. I think it's MS 180 that we're going to be giving away. So be sure and tell everybody that you know about the channel, and that way, you know, you guys can have a chance to win. Honestly, I'm going to tell you, we've got
Hey,
thousands of subscribers, right? But only hundreds comment. So that should tell you something. Your chances of winning it are really good. Honestly, I watch other channels, but I never comment on them either. I do every once in a while, but that's probably because I'm so busy anymore. I don't have a chance to watch them like I used to. But
Hey, FedEx is changing UPS's name. It's gonna be Fed Up.
fed up with what?
You goofy.
Oh, okay.
That's funny.
But anyway, yeah, remember that we're getting closer and closer. We're also winding down another month. So
That means I'm getting older.
I think it's Monday's video. We'll be announcing the winner for the past month and what we're giving away for this month. So y'all be looking at that too. Somebody wanted to know what color timber oil I was using on the boards. Well, it's called natural because I didn't want to color them, even though it does color them somewhat, but I didn't want to really change any colors if I could get away with it. So it's called natural. Let's see.
How much did you pay for it this time? Same?
$220, I think it was.
Ooh,
So
that's painful.
on the cabin,
For 5 gallons.
I think this is the third 5-gallon bucket that I bought. Okay. I'm probably going to have most of it left. So one bucket did all of the posts and beams. Still had some left over. Another
Thank you,
bucket
Tracy.
did every one of the boards and all of the battens, with the exception of I had to probably use about this much in the new bucket. And honestly, guys, today we got all the boards finished and all the battens are finished. And I'll also tell you this, we got past the chimney today with the boards, and and I've got 1.5 sections left, or basically 15 feet, and I'm done with those boards. And of course, the battens, I got to go back and put them on. But I figured when I had the help there, because we had to take all the chimney down today, and I had to run the boards past it. Then I had to recut the hole, and I actually raised it up some. I didn't intend to because I really wanted to put a mantle inside. But the more I thought about it, I thought, I'm just not going to put the mantle there. I'm just going to have the nice rock in behind. So I went ahead and raised it up some so that I can actually get it even up higher. But somebody was concerned about that extra pipe for radiant heat. I'm not really concerned with it because ask Patrick, number 2. Not Patrick. This is Patrick number 1 here on the screen with us. And this over here is Patrick number 2. But I asked him today, I said, can you notice a difference in here? Because we just about got it enclosed with radiant barrier. So what do you think?
Yeah, there's a big difference. Because outside it's pretty sunny today. And outside it's warm, but you went inside, it's like really cold. Not cold, but
yeah,
cold.
It was maintaining the overnight temperature on the inside. So I think that radiant barrier is going to be a real key with the insulation on keeping warm air in the winter and warm air out in the summer. So I'm pretty excited about that. But we got the radiant barrier up. I got all the cladding on. I got most of the boards on, like I said, and got that chimney remounted, and it's mounted permanently now. And I'm going to try to get the windows set, and in there, the 2 short windows. And then all I've got probably is another 1.5 days or 2 days on that other end where the back door is. And I'm done with the siding, and I'm moving on to raised beds and, praise God, a chicken coop. So,
Hey, John.
John boy, where's Billy? I'm telling you, I'm going to say that every time I see your name.
Oh, you're going to say that every time you see his name? He doesn't want us. He wants Smokey. Listen, Smokey had to go downstairs. He was on one. We'll bring him up in a little bit.
So,
hey, Germany.
John boy, if you're not from around the Southeast, there's a radio station that's called John Boy and Billy. And there are a couple of crack-ups, okay? They're really fun to watch, or really fun to listen to. But you could probably get on YouTube and Google John Boy and Billy, and you can watch, especially, they got some guy on there that does Carl Childress impressions, and he tells all these children's stories and everything. Oh, it is absolutely knock your socks off funny. But anyway, so let's see.
Knock your socks off funny.
Radiant barrier on the gable ends.
Did you hear that?
Okay. I know it's probably not you all because I've said it on the review channel. I've said it on the live stream, and I've said it on the main channel. But, some people miss this stuff. And so the gable ends have to be done from the inside. Because when I was originally going to put up T111 on the outside, on the upper portion, I built the 2x4 walls up at the top flush with the outside. That means you can't put radiant barrier on there and then put the boards up because there has to be a space between them. So I'm going to have to do it from the inside. So no, I did not forget radiant barrier on the gable ends. Also, I've had some people comment, and I don't know if this is what people are doing, where they start watching the videos and then they hit pause and they make a comment. And then I've had a second comment by the same person say, oh, you answered my question. So my suggestion is watch the whole video because your answer may be in there somewhere. But yeah, that's pretty funny. North Dakota, North Carolina, Chinky Pin. How about that? You surprised I knew how to say that, right? Chinky Pin.
They want to know if we're wearing our rock roasters. No, but mine are down on the stairs.
No, I'm wearing my moccasins.
I know. Look, I'm wearing my little slippers.
Hey, I haven't even tried mine on yet.
Hey, Jim. Hey, Lisa.
So no dirt angler. Oh, okay.
Oh, I was reading.
All right. Let's see.
He's gonna build my cabin. Hey, Josh Russell.
What up, Brandy?
Are you not the Josh that I know? Isn't that the Josh that I know?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yes.
You know her.
No, hey, Brandy. Josh, are you not the one that I seen in Claiborne County? I'll wait for your answer.
Josh
Hi.
Russell's the one that makes the gun holsters.
Yes, I saw him in Claiborne County that day. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I still need to get up there. We still need to do a camp over and video that. Some people were talking about taking the time needed on the cabin. Some people I've had comments saying it's too much of the same old thing. Well, nobody knows that better than I do, let me tell you, because I'm out there putting that siding up every day, but it's almost done. But my suggestion to some of those would be, you know, I know exactly what you're talking about, but it's not going to get done unless I do it. And the other thing too is, you know, I'm not just doing one video a week. I'm doing 3 and the other 2 for the review channel. So that's 5. So you guys just bear with me. I will get it done. Then somebody else wanted to say, are you just doing one board at a time? If you've ever used propane at any length of time, like with that blower, the tank will freeze. And then it starts not wanting to do very well. So I have figured out that if you burn 1 or 2 boards and then you put the oil on them and then go put them up, by the time you come back, the tank has kind of settled down and you can just keep going all day long. And
hey, Mama Carolyn.
I'll tell you something else too. It all works out about the same time. So if I had burned 15 boards and then I go stain 15, then I go put up 15, it's really no difference than burn 1, stain it, put it up, burn another one, stain it, put it up. It's about the same. Eric, hey, thank you so much.
Yes,
What
thank
about
you,
that?
Eric.
Oh, let me go get that box. I want to show them.
Quit kicking the camera.
I'm sorry.
Hey, you had a question on here about why do you use white caulk instead of brown or tan?
Actually, it says clear. It goes
Dries clear.
goes on white and it's supposed to clear up. Some of it did and some of it didn't.
It's kind of like that antiperspirant deodorant.
It doesn't matter because it's behind the battens, right? So you can't see it anyway. I'm using black on the outside to go around the windows. I did make a mistake in starting off with the clear, but when I seen it drying white, I have to go back and dig out what little I did put in there and put the black in because it didn't come out right.
Somebody wants to know if you should put the vapor barrier under the floor joist before you start another project, as moisture and air may get exposed to the fiberglass.
Well, it's still wintertime. So what I'm going to do is I haven't decided whether I'm going to go with vents or without vents. There is a lot of pros and cons on both of them. I just have to make up my mind. If I'm going to go with vents, I have several holes I need to cut out and mount the vents in there. If I go ventless, then I have 2 that I'm going to have to plug up because I've already put 2 on that one end. But I will be doing it fairly soon. And, you know, I haven't forgot about it. I do have an extra roll of that stuff that I do need to go down there and put it on. So
Have you told everybody what
I need
happened?
to hire some hobbits to come and do that.
Have you told everybody what happened?
What happened? What?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah. So I was up on the ladder working, trying to put this window in, okay, over there by the kitchen. And the window actually fell out and hit the ground, didn't break the window, okay? So I'm dealing with the window, trying to get it back up in there, and I turned around and looked, and Smokey was gone. And I called and I called and I called. I drove up and down the road several times looking. He was nowhere to be found. So I called my son, Patrick, and I said, well, the dog is gone. Where'd he go? I don't know.
This is not a place you want to lose an animal.
Anyway,
But stop. Then he calls me and says,
so then Patrick calls Jennifer. And the next thing I know, Jennifer shows up. Patrick number 2 shows up. Steven shows up, Landon shows up, and we call and we drive and we look and we hunt.
Honey, I'm chasing people up their driveways. These people are looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm honking, and I get out and I'm like, hey, I won't hurt you, I swear. I'm just looking for my dad's dog.
So I had him on camera, a real close-up of him, and I was thinking, all right, I guess I'm going to have to tell people on YouTube that this was the last pictures that I had of Smokey before he took off. I didn't know if he'd run over the mountain and got lost because we had walked up in there before. I didn't know if somebody, because I heard a couple car doors shut way down on the road. I thought somebody must have picked him up and took off with him because he's very friendly. And or I thought maybe he got run over and he's laying off the side of the bank in the weeds, hurt or dead or whatever, and we would never know it, you know. So anyway, but Landon and Steven were walking down the road, and Landon says, hey, that's Smokey sitting over there beside a tree. And he was on the other side of the creek. So they called to him, and he was trying to figure out how to cross the creek. And then my neighbor that I sold the other home to that I built actually went down, got a rope around his neck, and led him over there to the property. And
but honey, he was covered in manure, like cow, horse, goat. Honey, he had a heck of a time.
And mud. And my bathroom tub, this is no joke, probably had 1/8 of an inch, if not a quarter, of grime in the bottom of it when the water drained. I mean, he had a heyday.
He did have a heyday.
But anyway,
I was so worried.
What I was fixing to show you is I've got SD cards. Okay. I got another 16 terabyte.
Hey, you got it.
Yeah, it's been at my house for a couple days.
And I also got a reader because, folks.
Yes, Eric. Oh.
Believe it or not, I have filled up 10 terabytes of video. I've got a 6 terabyte hard drive that has the complete videos already made on it so that I can save them in case YouTube ever crashes, because I have had people say that their account got broken into and they deleted all their stuff. And I've also got a 4 terabyte hard drive that has nothing but our photos for like thumbnails and stuff. So Patrick spent about $500 on this little box right here. So it takes quite a bit to make those videos. But anyway,
Cotton Top, you have no idea. I had people asking me down here, how am I going to help my dad find a dog 1,000 miles away? I don't know, but I was certainly up to the task.
I had a picture of Smokey that I had taken when he was wearing that little sweater, and I put it on Facebook, and there was a lot of people sharing that. And I literally was just going to people's houses and up their driveways. These people are literally retired, and they live in other states, and they bought, all this land because they didn't want anybody beside them. And I'm just driving up their driveway and letting them know, hey. And this one guy says, well, I'm not from here. I live in Charlotte. And he was like, I can tell you right now, if he was up here, my dog would have got him. Well, this dog, he was a little older, bless his heart. His name was Astro. But anyway, I mean, I literally lost all couth. I was gone.
Well, I've had dogs turn up missing there before. I had a boxer. She was very, very smart, very friendly. When we lived in that other cabin when the kids were, very small, and she just ended up missing. So I know that she probably ended up in somebody's vehicle down the road.
He was very emotional, by the way. Do not let him tell you that he was not.
We've also had dogs turn up. I remember growing up at the house and walking down the driveway, and dog was shot.
Yeah. So I'm trying to train him to not run off.
Thank you, MJ.
When he hears a car coming up the driveway, he wants to bolt for the vehicle. I've been trying to hold him back, been trying to keep him not to jump on people. He's still just a puppy, but nobody would ever want to come up there and visit if he jumps on people or if he gets run over by a vehicle, then But
Yes, Karen, it does.
so we're still in training with the dog. Somebody also wanted to know, does the oil take a while to dry? Yes, it does. You know those gloves that I don't.
It soaks in though pretty good. The wood will soak it in pretty good.
But
It's sticky.
the reason I wear those gloves, and I've got 2 pairs of them that are already stiff because they got so much of that oil on them. Because you know it will dry overnight, and then I use it again, dry overnight, so it's caked on basically. It does take it a while to penetrate into the wood totally, but I tell you what, I'm really liking that stuff, even though it's expensive. I really like it.
It probably takes a minute to.
Yes. I gotta tell y'all funny. Patrick calls me and he said, "Well, Jennifer, does he have a collar on with a tag?" And I was like, "No." "Well, is he microchipped?" And I'm like, "No." And he said, "Well, why not?" And I was like, "Why are you asking me for? Like, how do I know?"
I'm not getting the dog micro.
You know, I actually found an article that said that microchips aren't actually the same thing as a GPS thing. Microchips only when you take. They have to actually physically take it into the veterinarian or somebody who can scan it, and then it shows up something. I don't know. Or not.
GPS tracker.
I'm not having anything implanted in. Collar,
Hey, Debbie.
yes, but
I wonder if because we're using more or less green lumber, if it probably takes the stuff longer to penetrate.
it's possible. That was another question too that somebody had. Can you use green lumber to build with? Yes, you can. I was actually watching some guy, an older man. He said he was one of the trainers at some timber framing school, and he said that it takes roughly 40 years for timber to dry to where, you know, it's totally dry. And he said, but you don't have that kind of time to wait. He said, so what we always build with green timber. The thing is the checking and the cracking. So, you know, on the ends of the log there, because the cells actually shrink when they lose the water. And so you got cells on the inside that don't change with the same rate as the cells on the outside. And when these cells on the outside start losing their water, it causes it to split. So what you want to do is you want to oil it up and you want to seal the ends. So you want to keep the water on the inside so that it dries slowly, makes its way out to the outside slowly. Yes, it will shrink. When you're dealing with the green lumber too, the reason I have battens that are 2.5 inches wide is because I'm counting on the fact that the boards will probably shrink a little bit, and so will the battens, but I'm still going to have plenty to overlap that gap between the two, and I should be okay. I will tell you that my posts measure about 6 3/4 inches instead of 7 now. All right. But everything else that I cut shrank in proportion. So when for example, the 7 inches by 10 inch beams were, they shrunk up to like 9 on the depth of them. They shrunk up to like 9 7/8, 9 3/4. But so did the 2 by 10s that I cut. So when I put them together, they all matched and came out perfect. So you just got to kind of compensate or know that, you know, that's going to happen. But, you know, I think back too that the Frontiers people and the Pilgrims, when they started moving in, they probably didn't have time for their lumber to dry either. So that they just built with, you know, what they had. Bentley. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Somebody else wanted to know, do I like cooking on the pit or the stove better? Well, I have to say that the pit probably trumps everything because the pit actually tastes better with the wood smoke on the meat, even the potatoes. It will roll over into the pan when I'm frying onions and potatoes and stuff. It makes everything better. I don't think you can beat. I'm not talking about charcoal either, not outside on the backyard grill. Talking about over the fire. It just makes everything else taste so good.
He has, Jeff.
So I've cooked on the stove inside. I cooked soup and eggs and stuff like that, and it tastes okay too, but it doesn't taste like the grill out there at the outdoor kitchen. That really tastes good. Let's see. Somebody also want to know, why didn't I just go ahead and install the front door? And if I didn't have it made, why don't I just go and buy one? I really don't need it right now because I'm not living there, you know. The inside's not finished either. I did get the trim so that I can finish the battens. I got to have the trim up first so that I can finish all the battens. But I intend on making the front door. So when I make it, I'll install it. I'm probably going to go ahead and buy a back door because it may be just as expensive to make it as it is to buy it. But the front door is going to be a little bit different. That's the reason that I'm wanting to make it. So anywho, that's the reason that I don't have it on there, because it's not really needed at the time. Somebody wants to know, do I wear ear protection? No, never have, and probably never will. The saw that I'm using out there, you know, it's not that loud. The generator is generally off in a distance. I did wear it when I was working construction because of all of the
Thank you, guys.
lots and lots of outside
Thank you, Mr. Bradley.
interference from all the different machinery, and you may be next to a 40 horse motor, but my stuff isn't that loud and it doesn't bother me one bit. And I don't think that I've lost hardly any of my hearing. I'm 62 years old. Doesn't mean that I may not later on, but no, I don't. I use eye protection.
Hey, if he loses his hearing, he won't need it then either.
Yeah, I won't need them. But no, I don't use it. Somebody else?
Hey, what do you call a classy fish? So sophisticated.
Wow.
What was it Patrick was supposed to say to you?
Oh, are you ready, Pappy?
I don't know it.
Yes, you do.
Continue talking. Just text me it. Text me it.
Somebody wanted to know, what direction is my house facing? Well, I think somewhere at some point in time.
Depends on which you're standing.
What?
What?
It depends on where you stand.
I said it depends on which way you're standing.
Why would it depend on where you're standing? If
Because
it's
that's where you're facing it.
It was a joke.
what direction is the house facing?
He's right. Depends on where you stand.
Okay, whatever. Somewhere along the way, I had learned that houses should face north.
I tried. I was going to say that
Okay.
tonight. I had it.
The
Oh.
house does face not true north, but a little to the northwest. Okay, but it would have looked funny on the hill if I'd have faced it in a different direction.
Hey, they want to know what kind of wood are the post and beams made of.
Poplar. Tulip poplar. And I'm going to tell you something. When that stuff starts drying out, it gets hard as a woodpecker's lip. Okay? Trying to drive a nail in there is almost like trying to drive it into oak once it gets seasoned.
Is that what a woodpecker does? Is that what he uses with his lips?
It means it's tough. It doesn't break. Tough as a woodpecker's lip.
That's what I'm saying. Does he use his lips to knock a hole in the wood, his beak?
Actually uses his beak.
But that's his lips, ain't it?
Yeah.
Ain't it? Y'all like the ain't word. We're lazy today.
That's what my papa used to tell me. He said, Ricky, if you're going to make it in this world, you're going to have to be tough as a woodpecker's lip. You can't be.
A duck, a skunk, and a deer went out for dinner at a restaurant one night. When it came time to pay, the skunk didn't have a cent. The deer had no bucks, and so it was all put on the duck's bill.
I like his jokes better than yours.
Ow.
Oh,
Do you know
okay.
Willie Nelson got hit by a car? He got in the road again. Is that how it goes? I don't even know.
He was on the road again. Yeah. Let's see. Somebody said that they didn't have to watch both of my channels if they just watched my review channel, because I was ahead on the review channel and behind on the main channel. Well, let me say it like this. I figure that the people who are watching both channels, who have followed us for some time and are watching the review channel because they like more behind the scenes stuff, I'm kind of giving you guys a little privy into what's happening in the future. I don't have to do that because I could just sit and talk about things at random. But I thought, you know, it's kind of like this live stream. I'm letting you guys know what's happening in the future, and I wanted to let the people on the review channel know what's happening in the future. So my suggestion to somebody like that is just watch one channel and don't worry about the other one, because, you know, I don't want to change my manner of videoing. And, you know, as I'm out there working, we're only a couple of videos ahead on the review channel. I'm letting y'all know the issues that I run into or what I've got new that's going on. And then you can see it all put together on the outdoor channel. Honestly, to just tune in and watch somebody's review channel would be very boring to me, just to listen to somebody talk. So I'll give you an example. My self-reliance. I've been following Sean for, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it's been. And he has the Sean James channel. And I always watch the self-reliance channel. And then I go over there and I pick him up on his other channel. And he may be talking about things the same way in the future, or things in the past, or what's even current. But just to watch his Sean James channel, I don't think would be very interesting for me, because I have no idea what's happening on the other end. And to just tune in on a review channel and see, like, those walls that I framed on the inside, already framed, doesn't really mean anything. So for those of you that tune in to review, I'll let you know, like I do on the live stream, what's happening in the future. Patrick, if I emailed, would you call me? I am trying to set up.
We talked to him.
Huh?
We talked to him.
Okay.
Oh, hey, I have to say something. Somebody asked about Rock Rooster, if they ship to Australia and whatnot. Yeah, they do. I think they're actually there or something.
Let's see.
Would it work to char the wood over a fire pit or burn barrel?
Yeah, you can do any way to get a flame on it. Just make sure it doesn't.
You just have to watch it.
Don't let it get pitted. You know what I'm saying? When something chars to the point where it's kind of pitted, don't let it get that far. Let's see. Oh, somebody wanted to know, why did I build my walls on 2-foot centers and not 16-inch centers? Well, first of all, you got to remember that what I built was a timber frame. Okay. If it was regular, conventional construction, I should have probably used 16-inch centers with double top plates, 2x6, 2x8, 2x10 headers over the doors and windows. But, you know, that wall isn't really supporting anything. It's just stuck in the hole just to hold up the sheetrock, the insulation, and the drywall. All right. That's the reason I didn't put headers in there. I was going to, but it's just a bunch of wasted cuts and wasted time, really, for nothing. I do like to pay attention to detail, but I thought I really want to get this up, done, and over with, because I want to get on to other projects. And I knew when I got to this house that I was going to be stuck on certain things for a long period of time, just video after video after video of doing that. And I'm kind of over the siding.
Harold, did you get your stuff? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's all right.
Hey, somebody's wanting to know what's next on the review channel. Any tool reviews? Someone says you inspire them.
We're talking with a company on a solar-powered, what do you call it, thing, Patrick?
Portable power station, kind of like a
battery powered generator.
Yeah. We're also talking with a couple of companies that want us to put in a spot, which is Harry's. Is that right, Patrick? Harry's, and then what was the other one?
Omaze.
Omaze.
Listen, if they're wanting to send some razors, send it my way.
So we'll be talking about that pretty soon. But that's something we can all use. We
That's
can always,
funny, Dan. He said, Richard, don't change a thing. However, please do get the siding done.
Dan,
It is.
like I said, buddy, nobody knows it better than me.
I think you have what, 17 boards left, I think.
I'm
you
going to
said?
have it done probably in the next 3 or 4 days. So there may be 2 more videos coming out besides the 3 that I have already up for next week. And it's done. Stick a fork in it. It's done.
Do you think you'll be finished with the cabin and moved in by the end of 2021?
Well, yeah.
And then over here, they wanted to know how Patrick number 2 was liking his tool belt.
I really like it a lot. It's really nice. The first day I had it, I got a little dirty there, Richard. So sorry.
He didn't know how to. He didn't know how to take it.
I've never had a tool belt. Okay, so but the first day I took it home. There's some dirt on it. I like it so much. I cleaned all the dirt off of it because like it's really nice leather, and I didn't want to ruin it. So I was cleaning it, and it's at the cabin now. So I'm going back tomorrow.
Hey man, it's good to take care of your stuff. That's
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing.
I'm telling you, he's a young Richard.
Well, I mean, I clean my stuff up too because if you take care of it, it will last you. So somebody want to know how hard would it be for me to put in a well so that I can have a toilet that flushes? Well, first of all, I could do that. I did it in the other cabin. It costs for the whole system would probably cost me between $3,000 to $5,000 to put in a system that flushes. And then I'm probably going to waste about 3,000 gallons of water every year. Just because we pretty much in our generation have grown up flushing a toilet doesn't mean that that's the only way. Robin, the girl that was up there, you've seen her in a couple of videos. She said that is probably the cleanest outhouse she has ever seen. And when she means clean, of course, you know, we don't go in there and trash the place up. But as far as there's no odor, there is none. And I'm telling you, I am very impressed
There isn't any.
with that compost toilet. And I'm very seriously thinking about putting the same system in the house. Okay. Why should I spend all that money and flush all that water if I'm going to achieve the same purpose with no smell? I don't know. But somebody did ask that question. I didn't answer it yet because I got so much going on, guys. But I'll tell you,
Say hi to Jess.
I'm really impressed with it. I already answered, can the green wood be used? Somebody said if they cut 1 by 8 by 8, one day, burned it, sealed it, 2 or 3 days later, could they use it? My suggestion is yes.
You're right, Eric.
But you've got to remember that it is going to shrink. Green wood shrinks in width, not in length. So it is going to shrink on you a little bit. So you have to take that into consideration. And it could shrink anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Okay?
Hey man, listen, don't go baking my heart.
I couldn't if I fried. Did anybody get that?
Don't go baking my heart.
No, don't go
Bacon.
like a bacon strip. Don't go bacon
No.
your heart.
It would actually make way more sense if it was baking.
No, it's supposed to be bacon, and then you say fried, and you say I couldn't even if I fried.
Also, somebody from, I think it was Australia, wanted to know why did we not use horizontal boards between our stud walls? A lot of the older homes had those in there. Also, a lot of the older homes here had the diagonal bracing. So it's kind of like a knee joint, okay? And also, you know, they had the horizontal runs in them. If you noticed, I did put those on the 2x10s because they're much easier to twist. I have the 2x4s locked in on the outside now with my 1x10s. I also am going to put wood on the bottom half on the inside, so it's going to lock it in from the inside. They're not going to be able to twist on me, I don't think. So there's an answer to your question there. Now here's another thing. Those windows that I have been putting in under normal circumstances, you would put those onto your stud frame. Then you would put your siding on. Then you would put your frame on. But I'm using sawmill lumber, which is actually 1 inch thick. All right. If I would have put my windows on my stud wall and then put my exterior siding on, which is 1 inch thick, it would come out to the face of the window. Then I wouldn't really have any place to put my frame, okay, because it's so thick. So I thought, well, as long as I seal it good, I can put it on the outside. Then I use my 2x4 frame, which I think really looks nice, and put it on there and still have a little bit of a lip sticking out where I can run my bead of caulk around there. So I've done it that way before, never had any worries or issues with it. So taking into consideration that I'm using 1 inch thick material instead of 1/2 inch, which would be normal construction, you know, my window would have been way inset back in there, and I don't think it would have looked as good. So that's the reason I did it the way that I did it.
No, Dan.
Also, recently I was showing a picture of the creek down there where I'm getting some erosion. Same thing happened down there at my neighbor's, which used to be the cabin that we owned before I sold it. Same thing happened over there. And I told him, I said, you need to get your tractor down there and straighten that creek up. And he said, well, the EPA, I said, forget about the EPA. This is your property. They're not paying your taxes or anything. So I don't figure that they have any say so. I said, it's going to wash that bank away. Well, he didn't. He went with them. They brought loads and loads of rock in there and they embedded the bank, and it's still washing away. That water is so powerful. Let me tell you, when it's coming, it will undermine behind those rocks, and then the rocks roll down, and they either end up, if they're big, huge boulders, they end up laying in the bottom of the creek or rolling. You've never seen anything like a flash flood in the mountains. You know, we're not in rolling hills, we're in the mountains, and it comes down through there with lots of force. So I need to redirect the creek. Yes, the boulders would help, but if I redirect the creek, it will stop that from going around in that direction, because that's the way it used to be. I imagine something fell over in there and then some dirt got deposited in there, and the next thing you know, a tree's growing up there, and the whole creek just redirected itself. So I'm going to just about straighten the creek out on my property. That way it's got a straight path and I don't end up losing more than what I need to lose.
Cotton Top. He did have 2 windows that did not have a grid. He did not realize when he bought them that they were missing grids. So he actually had put them in, and he decided to go ahead and take them back out, take them back, and go purchase the ones with the grid. So
we didn't even notice it. I read a comment, and then I went up there and looked, and I said, I'll be darned. Well, Jennifer came up there a day or two later, and I said, look at those 2 windows and tell me what's the difference. She looked at them. She goes, I don't know. What do you mean? I said, well, one has a grid, the other one doesn't. I said panes, you know, grid, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They didn't match. But Jennifer says, well, at least they're balanced, because the 2 had grids, the 2 outside didn't. And I was going to leave it because it didn't really bother me that much. But when I turned the corner on the kitchen, here's one without, and then I put the bathroom window in, and it had grids. So then I was going to have to match this one up with grids. And I'm like, no, you know, this is getting too much. So I took them out. I talked to the hardware. They said, yeah, we'll take them back. So I took them out.
Douglas.
We replaced them. They all have grids now. So I think I've just about burned all those questions.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
What is the Foot's favorite food?
Jam.
No. Jam.
What?
That's a good one.
That would be a toe.
Yeah, that would be a toe.
What?
Sushi.
I think I had one more here.
Yes,
no,
Debbie,
no.
I saw that the other day.
I answered it.
Moving down to West Virginia. Yeah, Papa said, toe jam. Could you put a battery-powered solar system and pump water up to the cabin and garden?
Listen, there's a guy on YouTube, and I've mentioned this, and then somebody was trying to correct what I said.
No, David.
But I watched this one guy. He's got several ram pumps, and they pump water up to 200 and 300 feet in elevation. So I think I'm probably anywhere from 100 to 150 feet above the creek. As far as elevation goes, I talked to my neighbor. We may try to install a ram pump. Now, this is just for water that's used on the outside. I could probably put a tank in that saves the gray water, and because it's not anything you're going to drink or anything like that. But I may pump stuff out of the creek just to, and you got to remember, there's cattle in this creek and stuff like that in various places upstream, just to use for lawn, garden, things like that. The rainwater catchment, that'll be the water for our bathroom, our sink, and our washing machine. I always buy the water that I drink, so there's no issues with that.
No, David.
What's that?
Yes, David.
Do we get a lot of ice storms?
No.
Hey, what's brown and sticky?
We've had more snow this year than we've had in the last 20 years.
Yeah, what's brown and sticky? Anybody know?
What's brown and sticky?
Do you know?
Uh-uh.
A stick. Pappy told me that one. Doug Warden said poop. I mean, how
Pump
could be
water to
sticky?
the cabin garden. Yeah.
Somebody else, he already answered about the gable ends. He's putting radiant barrier on there. He just hasn't gotten up
I could
there
save
yet.
water from the outdoor kitchen and run that into the garden. I've got the sawmill. Pretty soon I'll have the chicken house. I think I'm going to run their own little water system down into their feeder area to where they can have their own water, and I'll never have to deal with that.
Somebody wants to know, does your structural lumber in cabin require grade stamps?
If you were going to build structurally, if you're in an area that requires inspections, you need to use stamped lumber. Now, that's only for the structural portion. You can use anything else you want to. You can use rotten lumber, okay, on the outside. It doesn't make any difference. It's only structural, okay? Does mine have it? No, it doesn't. I'm in an undeveloped area. I don't have any inspections that I have to pass. This house is staying in the family. They're only into that to, I think, promote the sale from one person to another, just so that, your insurance companies and things like that, for them to insure, you buying a new home and all that kind of stuff, or another home from somebody that, it's just like so many people get their fingers in the pie. But I'm going to tell you this, that I think that a lot of that sawmill lumber that I have put in there is better than the piles that I have picked through at Lowe's and Home Depot. So I've never had really any issues with anything that I built out of sawmill lumber. Even bugs. I've never had really any issues with bugs, but I will get a termite inspection, at least once a year, and have those guys maintain the cabin up there. Because once you get an infestation of bugs, it's kind of hard to get rid of them, you know. So,
I hope to build one day. Hi
Your-
from
Yourself?
okay.
huh?
You gonna build one yourself?
Duh.
Oh Lord.
I'm build.
Oh, let's see. I'm looking for
One of your
anyone who is
neighbors
retired
is-
or in disability that wants to build a cabin or tiny house off grid. Email me. Okay. Well, I might help you out, but I've got too much on my plate. I've still got a garage to build, a base camp to build, a barn to build, a chicken house to build. I got a fence in that bottom section down there for horses. I got
Free raised beds.
Yeah, I've got
And you know
lots of
the garden
videos.
we're gonna do.
I got lots of videos coming.
We're gonna do a lot bigger of a garden this year. And he'll be able to help maintain it a little better than last year because he was working a lot.
Yeah, almost time to say goodbye, guys. Take care. Be safe. You too, Wayne.
Thank you, Wayne.
Oh, Wayne. Yes, we're by the AT trail. Absolutely, David.
The AT, you know, runs from Maine all the way to Georgia, right? So if you're anywhere in the Appalachian Mountains, you're close to the AT trail, regardless if it's Virginia, you know, anywhere.
I was trying to find, will the insurance insure your place due to the fact of your wood burner and not professionally installed?
My wood burner,
What's that?
my wood burning stove. You know, there's lots of people that have those. I will tell you this. Lloyd's of London will insure it. They'll insure anything. They'll insure your shoes. But I imagine that there are different insurance companies as long as you're willing to pay the price to insure it.
Yes, John, we did.
I can always get insurance on the contents and different things, but I don't think I'm going to have a problem, honestly. We'll just wait and see.
A super chat.
One of your neighbors has chickens, and they got crested cream leg bar, blue egg, Oliver Egger, and Cochin. Cochin?
Yes, Mr. Bradley, we did. What does that say? Who are the people living in Knoxville?
It says CJ. Who are the people living in Knoxville? I don't know what he's talking about.
Who's CJ?
I don't know. It just says CJ.
I'm looking back up there.
So, like I said earlier, we got 2 windows to set and about 18, 19 boards to put up, and then I put the battens up, and bam, it's done.
Son.
I'm moving on to digging holes in the bank, cutting down some cedar trees, stacking those up, filling it full of dirt. I'm going to have 5 1/2 raised beds. And that will be all I need for beans and everything that I need, with the exception of potatoes and corn. I can't really put those in there because they're going to take up too much room for what little that they would yield. So I'm probably going to have to do that down in a field somewhere.
I feel
Comments?
like corn's almost easier just to buy for $0.25.
As long as your home is on a foundation, not wheels, you can have a wood stove without affecting your insurance.
Hey, is that Brian Messer, the Brian Messer we know?
I was about to say, Messer, are you from East Tennessee?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's from the big old CC.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I don't know what percentage of the homes here have wood
Thank you,
burning
Jeff.
stoves, but it used to be
Love you, Jeff.
the big thing. Okay. It used to either be coal, or they would go by the lumber yards and get the ends that were cut off, and they would split those up and burn them, unless they cut their own firewood. But yeah, that was a big thing here.
What do you call a cow that has a calf? A mama.
Mm.
Thanks, Eric.
See you, bud.
Yeah.
What is it, Donald? Tell me.
Let's see. Is there anything else that I was going to mention? While I'm thinking, why don't you tell them how much fun you're having out there, and if you've learned anything, and all that kind of good stuff.
Here, I'll scoot over. You can come
Yeah.
It's my favorite part, talking to the camera. So I told Richard I do have a lot of fun when I go up there. The worst part for me is the cameras. I don't like that part, but I'm getting used to it. But I am learning a lot. He's teaching me a lot of things about the different tools. I've learned a lot about that. I like to ask about different things that I don't know. Taught me a lot about just working on the stuff. It's a lot of fun, though. I enjoy it because I enjoy work, too. And Richard's a lot of fun company, so he is. I like him. He threatened to spank me today, though. So that's kind of.
I told him if he didn't show up for our live, I was going to have to whoop his butt.
And then you threatened to spank me because the utility knife, I didn't know the razor blades were inside of it. He threatened to spank me.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
The utility knife that I was given, part of the tool belt, I didn't know that the razor blades were inside of it. Like, you had to unscrew it and get them out because I've never had a utility knife, so I didn't know that. So he threatened to spank me because I didn't know it.
I thought I'm going to have to spank you.
But I'm learning a lot of stuff. It's fun.
Are you going to build a porch? Yes, he will.
Okay, guys.
Patrick 1, when are you coming to get your hands dirty? Isn't that the burning question in everyone's mind?
About a month.
About, y'all. He'll be here for the next live, won't he?
Hey, guys, check this out, okay?
Let's do that. He has to come for the next live.
Hey, check this out. A year ago, let's see, in about a week or two, a year ago.
No.
Yes.
No, I was there.
In March.
I was there around the 17th of March.
I said a week or two a year ago. Okay? We were actually putting the 2x6 rafters on to put the top on the timber frame, right? It was just a bunch of poles and beams standing there. We did that. We put on the OSB. We put on the 1x4s cladding and put the metal on in 1 week. Okay. We moved on from that to busting ground for the outdoor kitchen, put that up, put the metal roof on that. We moved from that to making tracks to the compost toilet, did that, put the roof on that. Then we put the roof, the metal roof on the
sawmill.
On the sawmill. Then I started on the cabin. I built a little knee wall underneath. I started in November, putting on in the floor joists, put the insulation in the floor, laid the floor, the OSB on the floor, did those exterior walls. I've even got the interior walls done now. Did the siding twice because it's board and batten, right? You got to do it twice in less than a year.
And around mid-March, we hit 10,000 subscribers. And YouTube gave us Creator on the Rise, which is when we hit it about a year ago.
Listen, Patrick, you were last here around the 12th of March. I just scrolled through all the pictures just to find it.
That's what I said. Around the 17th.
No, 17th. That was a week prior.
See, here it is right there.
Bring it closer.
That's me up in the bucket, putting on the 2x6s.
Who's driving the tractor?
You about killed me. Remember?
Oh, yeah, he did. He about killed him. I remember.
Well, I remember when I slammed your hand up against the house?
Yeah.
Look at that.
But, hey, I know. It's all in a day's work. That won't be the first time I've been hurt on the job.
He is a great mentor. Yeah.
So I was just thinking about that today. I thought, man, it doesn't seem like it, but we've really come a long way in less than a year. And remember, I worked 3/4 of that. Sometimes 72 hours a week, and then came out there and worked. So Yeah, it's been a big job, and I get some, and I'm not apologizing for anything, but I get
Thanks,
some
Aaron.
comments like, it's too much of the same thing. Well, like I said before, nobody knows it better than I do because I'm out there every day doing it. But I'm also filming it and letting you all see the progress that's being done. Doesn't seem like I've been on that siding forever. I know I just started it in January.
Well, it's hard to do it yourself when you're having to put it up by yourself and move everything to little bitty pieces.
I've cut pretty much every board. I've stained a whole lot of them on my own. I've screwed every one of them on my own. There's a whole lot of pieces too, the trim work and putting the battens up in there and the gate. There's a whole lot of work to it,
We have a couple. Let's take a couple more questions and
then I'll go get Smokey.
Do your lives in the morning, then I can sleep in the middle of the night. That would be too difficult to do because I wouldn't be able, Jennifer works. I wouldn't be able to get a lot done. So I have to do what is kind of best for everybody.
Hey, Mark Miller,
Mark.
your cousin you. Hey,
Yeah.
Hard Life. Yes, Smokey is getting big. I'll bring him up here in a little bit.
let's stay on for about 5 or 10 more minutes. That way, people who are on from the other side of the world can. We're not keeping them up.
Somebody said that I need to wear my pants on the outside and call yourself Superman.
He really
No.
doesn't stop, y'all. He's actually had a back issue for a while. He's pulled this muscle, but he won't take days off to try to relax it and heal it. So it's just never-ending pain.
I don't know how you can. I told him this before. I don't know how you're able to retire, work from your job to work more than you did when you were working.
Well,
And he said he wouldn't.
I wasn't really working. I was at work. It's a different kind of work. But, a little pain is nothing. That's part of life. And having motivation and a plan and being disciplined, even I may not get a whole lot done every day when I go out there, but I get a little bit done. And that puts me closer to my goal. That is the difference between people that procrastinate and say, well, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll start next week. No, you won't. Okay. You need to get it done now. And that's been my philosophy my whole life. And, it irritates me when somebody's like, well, I'm going to take the rest of the day off and I'll get that. They don't ever get anything accomplished. You got to do a little bit at least every day to get closer to your goal.
Pain's how you know you're not dead. Yeah.
I am
That's
working
true.
for myself now, and I still get up at 6:15 every morning. Sure do. Pain is how you know you're not dead. I believe that.
Keeping active is the key as you age.
That's right. Most people, I've seen them even when I was working EMS, a whole lot younger than I was. They begin to deteriorate if they lose their vision or they kind of give up in life, and they begin to, like I say, deteriorate and start to go by the wayside. And I couldn't figure that out. I'd be like, how can that be? I am older than you are. But it's because that they don't keep pushing, and their body is not used to doing nothing. And then when you start doing that, then you are,
You left the door
Then-
open, son.
yeah, take him back down there. Sorry, guys. We had some interruptions with the dogs.
Go. You didn't shut the door. No, it's okay. It's okay.
He's facing this way. Stop.
Just go.
Oh, sorry, guys. The animals were getting out. That there is a celebration in regards to men being correct. It is coming up very soon. Now, remember that the dates for this celebration will be February 29, 30, and 31.
Oh,
It's never gonna happen.
Well,
Y'all want to see Smokey?
I don't know.
I'm reading a comment right now, and we'll take a couple more comments. If you guys have them, go ahead and be typing them so we can go ahead and wrap up the video in the next couple of minutes. But I'm reading a comment on our Outpost Review channel.
We're at an hour and 15 minutes.
Hour and 5.
Oh my goodness.
And somebody had a comment about you saying panes and not grid or something like that. And
I knew what I was talking about.
yeah, but somebody else commented on it and said, this was my comment on an earlier video, but there was no response from Mr. Knox. Maybe he doesn't read all the comments or ignore some of them. Guys, if you're ever thinking that, trust me, we see as many as we can. Sometimes there's so many flooding in from, think about this. We have coming up on 200 and there's like 3/4 of the way to 300 videos on our main channel. And I have no idea how many is on our second channel. We get comments, not just on the latest video, but on every single video before that. And we get emails. I mean, all kinds of people writing in on our website. So it's not that we, sometimes we don't respond to everybody, yes, but
And I work full time, and I get on like every Friday and try to comment to the past 3
yeah.
videos. So I mean, we're extremely busy. So if there's something that you want to know and we haven't answered, please do write us. Come here.
If we get 200 to 300 per video and there's 5 videos, do the math. That's about 1,500. It's kind of hard to answer that many.
Look at that boy.
He's just a boy.
Look at him. Smokey.
Oh, I got to get a drink, guys. My mouth is dry. Yeah, we all know that the pane is a square portion of the window. I may have said it, but you knew what I meant. So don't call me out on a technicality, all right? Sometimes you don't say, your tongue gets wrapped around your eye tooth and you can't see what you're saying, right? So, yes, I meant the little grids in there, and not the window pane itself. Actually, the ones that I had in there before was a big solid window pane without the grill or without the grid, or there's several names that you can actually call them. But I think everybody knew what I was talking about. Let's see. I'm trying to see any more questions that I didn't answer. Why do people have to be critical about things that are, I don't know. I've had a lot of, there's a section in there where it says, let me look at it. There's a lot of comments that don't even make it to the page because they call them published, held for review, and canceled. If they're too disgusting, YouTube goes ahead and cancels them. If they're kind of R-rated, they'll be held for review. I've had several that were R-rated. I don't know why people do that. I really don't. If I had anything negative to say, I would probably not even watch that channel. I'd move on to another channel.
Sometimes your comment it's very rare, but I've seen comments get held for review and they weren't bad at all. And I've seen them by some of our regular subscribers. So if you don't see your comment, it wasn't intentional, especially if you know it wasn't bad. I've seen them like that though.
Yeah. But you guys just remember, what we're doing is a day by day, basically, video of you watching what I'm doing on a daily basis. It's different than if I was to just put out one video a week, where I would kind of show a synopsis of all the production that I did. You're watching me basically. I don't film getting up out of bed and heading out there. You know, I could put that in there, but you're basically seeing me after I get out there and turn the cameras on, what I'm doing every day. And like I said, that sighting has got so old for me too. I can imagine watching it, but I'm ready for it to be over and to move on to other things. So the next thing that's going to take a while is putting up the ceiling. I'm going to try not to video all of that because, you know, that's going to be slow going. But that's probably, well, putting up the walls on the inside. But I should have other projects going throughout the summer. And I'm going to save the cabin for a rainy day because, you know, I don't really need to move in there now. I've got it almost weathered in. And so I can start on some other projects and save that for rainy days.
Yes, he got my lip big time. I mean, there's a big hole.
I even see some thumbs down and wonder why.
They're pessimistic Pollies and negative Nancys. No, I'm kidding.
I get the same number probably every video. They'll be like this. And so I assume it's the same people that are watching the videos. How would...
We used to get this one guy. I did have to block him because he just made the same comment on every video. He would watch the whole video and make these remember him? He would make the same comment on every video about how oh gosh, what was it? It was so long ago. But it was always the same negative comment, like, you know, should have done this, or the videos were too long, or, you know, and I'm thinking like, why do you keep watching the video?
Yeah. You know, I want to say to some of these people, you know what? Go create your own channel, go video yourself doing something, and, you know, get away from our channel. But you can't say that, you know.
We're not going to make everyone happy.
It is a lot harder than people think. I'm going to tell you that.
Yeah. I would be sitting at home right now tonight editing videos, and I still got several videos to edit, but my day doesn't stop when I leave the cabin out there. I come home and I edit videos for 3 hours or whatever to put out that many a week so that you guys can follow. So my kids know that for about the next 3 years, I'm going to be putting out 5 videos a week if, you know, good Lord willing, and the creek doesn't rise too much. And because I want about 1,000 videos on YouTube before I start to slow down any. Because once the cabin's done, a lot of those other things are done, you know, we're going to do specialty projects and things that are not quite as massive. So there'll be a lot more videos, different types of videos. But I may go back to, you know, 1 a week, 2 a week, something like that.
Also, new. This is not part of our store yet. I don't know if it will be part of our store. I'm going to try to. Nobody knows about this except for me. I had a talk with one of my friends last night. Her and her husband own a laser engraver, and she said if I wanted to make my own leather patches or leather patches that get stitched on a cap, that she would hook me up and let me engrave some leather patches. So when I come up with a couple of ideas about what might look good, like the logo or outpost or something like that, if you guys would like it, let us know here, or let us know in the comments, or send us an email. And I might even have some Velcro stitched on the back so you can put it on your backpacks and stuff like that. So yeah, they didn't know about that.
Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Gave me a big old hole.
Okay, guys. We've been on here an hour and 14 minutes. We'll take 2 more questions if you have them. If not, we'll wrap it up.
Yes, I know that the haters make us money too because they're watching and they're commenting. And that's the reason that we're always nice to them in our responses. Some of them I haven't responded to because they were so negative, and some of them have used foul language, and they don't even deserve my time.
Hey, somebody doesn't want to see me on the channel anymore. They said to give for Jennifer to not be on and to stop her jokes so that Dad's viewers would have sanity.
I responded. I misunderstood somebody, and I responded not in a bad way, and I got accused of, being a Neanderthal. Is what they called me.
Some people live to make negative comments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't live with that kind of drama. Bye.
Thanks, Carol. The haters are Democrats. Rock on. Thank you, Daniel.
Oh Lord.
Yes, experts are watching.
You know that one.
Oh yeah.
That one gal said she was in lockdown number 3. I don't know. It's kind of been reduced to the common cold if you do a lot of research and not watch the mainstream media. We love Richard, a cup of coffee in the AM, and Jennifer's jokes.
Trolls are going to hate.
Yeah.
And listen, Dan, I'm not going anywhere. If I make one person laugh, I've did my job.
Do all 3 of you read the emails?
As often as we can.
But if I know that they're going to my dad and it's something I can't answer, I don't.
Sometimes they'll end up in our junk mail by accident somehow. And I've seen them in there before. Sometimes I'll go back. I'll just scroll back through just because, and I'll see something that I didn't see before.
Phil said that the time you spend on your channel, not just videoing your projects, but all the behind the scenes, is greatly appreciated and enjoyed by me and obviously many of your followers. Please continue. Thank you.
You know how your email, where it has the little blue dot beside it, can you see that? If it's been opened, because we all are logged on, if it's been opened, sometimes you're looking for that little blue dot on something that hasn't been read, and you look for it. If it's been opened before, I may not even see it. One of the kids may have done it, so it may totally get by me. And I can't even stop and read the comments like I used to because of the amount of production I'm trying to get done and the filming and the editing and loading to YouTube for you guys. I can't even read the comments like I used to. So it's not that I don't want to. It's that I've only got so much time in a day, and a lot of time I'm editing while you're sleeping. So, it's a big job, but we're pleased, we're happy doing it, and we're having a great time. So anyway, I don't want to keep you guys on here any longer. I know that we've taken up some time. We'll save some for the next live stream. So, thanks guys so much for all your support. Like I say all the time, and we can't say it enough, we appreciate each and every one of you. We wish you the best of luck in our monthly giveaways to all of you. We can't thank you enough for the comments and doing the live streams with us and just, the nice, and I've said this before too, the nice cards, the nice gifts that you send, because we don't expect nothing, but we get them anyway. And we are definitely not going to choke out the spirit, because the people have it in their heart to give away, and it would be very rude not to accept. So if you guys live in China and you win one of our giveaways, I'm going to send the gift to China. Okay? Read my lips. We don't care where you're at. If you win, you're supporting us. We're going to support you. Okay. I've had a lot of people say, well, just give it away to somebody local. We'll do that too if you want to, but don't think you're too far away for us not to send you a gift because you went through the trouble to help support us. Okay. Because it's not going to work out that way every month. So that's immaterial to us, because I know that if you do good, good comes back to you. You can't plant an apple seed and get an orange tree, So do good, and good will come back to you somewhere, somehow, some way, one day. And it doesn't have to be from the person that you did good to. It could be from somebody totally different. Your job is to do good.
Yes. And listen, boondocking, once this live is over, you can go back and rewatch all of it. But The beast was already up here. He got taken downstairs because he was trying to love on me, and he made
Pierced your lip.
Yeah, he pierced my lip. It's deep and wide. Deep and wide.
Okay. Hey, guys,
Alrighty.
have a good night. Appreciate
We
you
love
guys.
you. Take care. Continue.
Bye.
My dad, we love you. See you later. Bye bye.